Shofar team. And right off the bat, I want to say that the Shofar team, the judges, are mighty men of valor. Keep that in mind. Righteous, mighty men of valor. They're not just like what we might think of today, a judge sitting in a robe, passing down judgments. But these judges are mighty men of valor. So keep that in mind. So let's start at Shoftim, or Judges chapter 2 and verse 7. Judges chapter 2, verse 7. And it reads, "And the people served Yah all the days of Yahshua, and all the days of the elders that all the great works of Yah that he did for Israel. And Joshua, I'm just going to say Joshua, the son of Nun, the servant of Yah, died being 110 years old. And they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnath-Heres, in the mount of Ephraim, on the north side of the hill Gaash. And also all the generation were gathered unto their fathers. And there arose another generation after them, which knew not Yah, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel." Verse 11, "And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of Yah, and served Baalim. And they forsook Yah, Elohim of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, other mighty ones, of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked Yah to anger. And they forsook Yah, and served Baal and Ashtaroth. And the anger of Yah was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them, and he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies." Verse 15, "Whithersoever they went out, the hand of Yah was against them for evil. And Yah had said, as Yah had said, and as Yah had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed." Verse 16, "Nevertheless, Yah raised up judges, Shoftim, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges. But they went a-whoring after other mighty ones, gods, and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked, obeying the commandments of the Most High, obeying the commandments of Yah, but they did not so. The children did not so. And when Yah raised them up judges, then Yah was with the judge, and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For it repented Yah because of their groaning, by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them." Verse 19, "And it came to pass, when the judge was dead, that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers, in following other mighty ones to serve them, and to bow down unto them. They ceased not from their own doings, nor from their stubborn way. And the anger of Yah was hot against Israel. And he said, because that this people have transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died, that through them I may prove Israel, whether they will keep the way of Yah to walk therein, as their fathers did keep, or not. The Most High said he's going to send these judges. He's going to raise up these judges. And let me just say that Judges chapter 1 and 2 is like a preface. It's a snapshot of what the rest of the book is talking about. It's a snapshot of what the rest of the book is talking about. So now I want to share screen, and I want to go through this. Okay, where is it? Can y'all see my screen?
Okay.
All right. I'm going to pull up the blue letter too. Hopefully. An error occurred. Let me try that again. Maybe I should have pulled it up before I started. Well, anyway, I'm going to stop sharing. But I wanted to go through this word, prove. I wanted to go through this word, prove. And that's, in Hebrew, the actual word that's in the text is nasot. Nasot. But the root is nasa. The root word is nasa. And it's translated into English 12 times as tempt. It's translated into English 2 times as assay. It's translated into English 1 time as adventure and 1 time as try. And if I was able to share the screen, I wanted to pull up that word assay in the dictionary, the English word assay in the dictionary. And the definition of assay is to test a piece of metal to find out what its ingredients are and the quality of that metal. The quality of that metal. Right? And so when you look up the words tempt, adventure, try, test, they pretty much allude to the same thing. It's putting something to the test to find out the quality of it. All right? So when the Most High said he's going to lead these nations to prove Israel, to test them, to see what they're made of, what quality is Israel, based on how they go through the trial with these other nations. All right, so now I'm going to move fast to get to the warning. And I want to give you this a little analogy. We see over and over in Scripture, the Most High said that we're going to be tried as gold is tried through the fire. That's that same process where it's heated up, it's melted down, and the impurities are scraped out. And then what's left from that is the quality of that gold, how pure that gold is after it's been through that fire, after it's been melted down. What's left is the purity. And then on their scale, in what we understand today is 18 karat gold, 24 karat gold, that's the scale they use for quality. So keep that in mind. So let's go to Bereshit, or Genesis chapter 12, starting at verse 1. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Remember, I'm going to go fast, so make sure you got your notebook out and take notes of these chapters and go back and study them. Genesis chapter 12, starting at verse 1. And it says, Now Yah had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Verse 3, and I will bless them that bless you, that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Verse 4, so Abram departed as Yah had spoken unto him. And Lot went with him, and Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. Now, when you go into the extra books in Jubilees, I think it's chapter 12, somewhere around 12, where you can read that he departed from a particular culture. Where he was growing up at, his father had idols. His father worshiped idols. All right? So the Most High said, Abram, get yourself away from that and just go where I say go. Listen to my instruction, listen to my voice, and go where I say go. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20. Exodus or Shemot chapter 20. And we're going to start at verse 22. Shemot chapter 20, starting at verse 22. And it reads, and Yah said unto Moses, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I, the Most High, have talked with you from heaven. Verse 23, ye shall not make with me, the Most High, gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. If you remember back in Judges, Abimelech, remember Abimelech? He wanted to be king. He wasn't called by the Most High. Well, he was used by the Most High. But let me take that back. Let's just go to Gideon, and that'll be point. Gideon, remember Gideon was called by the Most High. He delivered Israel. But then when he did, he made an ephod, an image, and he put that image in the middle of the city. And scripture says that became a snare unto him. People came to that city for that image, not for what Gideon did, not for what the Most High raised Gideon up for. Just remember that. Now, a couple of more verses, and then I'll go to closing. Turn to Exodus chapter 32. Exodus chapter 32. Shemot chapter 32, verse 1. Shemot chapter 32, Exodus chapter 32, verse 1. And when the people saw that Moshe delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, up, make us mighty ones, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moshe, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. We don't know what has become of him. So we want you to make us mighty ones to go before us. So the point here is we see from Abram, the Most High said, listen to my voice, follow my instructions. Leave that culture that you're in that's worshiping other gods and go where I tell you to go. Hearken unto my voice. right? And then we see in Exodus where the people heard the Most High's voice. And as soon as they didn't have Moses that they could see in front of them, they went to Aaron and said, make us gods. The Most High said, don't make any images to represent me to bow down to, and don't make any images of yourself to represent me to bow down to. Remember that. So where's the warning? What's the warning? If we go through all of Judges, and we see Othniel, and we see Ehud, and we see Gideon, Jerubbaal, we see Barak and Deborah, even all the way out to Shamuel, that every time one of those judges, that authority figure was gone, they had to turn to something else to put their faith into. Why? That's the question. Why? We ask that over and over. Why can't they just do what the Most High says? And for whatever reason Israel has this handicap where they have to put their faith into something physical. Well, that's what the Most High is saying in Judges, that I'm going to leave these nations amongst you to try you, to see if you're going to pay attention to my voice, or you're going to run to something else looking for salvation, looking for strength. Are you going to pay attention to my voice and obey my voice? Even though you didn't see me, Joshua followed the Most High. Abraham followed the Most High. Now, Abraham had visions of the Most High, but Joshua, who was proved through the wilderness, he listened to the Most High's voice without question and obeyed it. Moshe listened to the Most High's voice and obeyed it, up until the point where he struck the rock, and we see what happened then. But Israel, through all of this, Israel has to put their faith into something physical. Even after Mashiach, we see today that Israel, the Most High's people, have to put their faith in something physical, something they can see or touch. And we're going through that proving process now. Let me close with this question. Do you think our forefathers, Israel, back in the days of the judges, when that judge died, do you think that they thought they were making the Most High angry when they tried to follow the mighty ones of other nations? Do you think they, in their mind, that they were making the Most High angry? I don't need an answer. Just think about it. Now remember, these are generations. So that generation where the judge was there, that physical reminder of what the Most High's words are, reminder of the Most High's voice, for the most part, they were obedient. The majority was obedient. But as soon as that judge died, they had nobody to focus on. The majority went looking for other gods to put their faith into, to protect them, to guard them, provide for them. So that's my question. Do you think they knew that they were angering the Most High, that generation after the judge? Now we think about this today. Do you think our people, the Most High's people of today, do you think they know that they're angering the Most High when they bow down to this Caesar Borgia, that image that this nation made of their God? Do you think they know that they're angering the Most High? Do you think those of our people that are in Black Lives Matter and gay rights movement and women's rights movement, Do you think they are thinking or understand that they're angering the Most High when they join these movements? That's the question. So the warning is, guard your faith. Beware of your faith. Are you putting your faith into the words that are coming out? Or are you putting your faith into that person? The Most High sent those judges not for Israel to idolize. They sent those judges for Israel to be reminded of the Most High's voice. Those judges were sent unto Israel, like the Most High said, I feel bad for my people, so I'm going to raise up judges to remind them of who I am and my voice. So that's the question, that's the warning. Are we listening to the Most High's voice? Or are we listening to somebody else's voice and don't realize that we're angering the Most High when we do that? Shabbat Shalom, Mishpachah. That's the message. I hope it was somewhat edifying, that you can take it and use it in your life. And remember that our people, we have an advantage because we have been woken up. We're studying, we're hearing the Most High's voice. But a lot of our brothers and sisters that have not really heard the Most High's voice, do you think they understand that they're angering the Most High? Shabbat Shalom. Halal Yah, Halal Yah.
Shabbat Shalom, and hallelujah, hallelujah. Great warning, Adon, and I like the closing statements that you made as far as guarding your faith and making sure that we're not doing anything that's displeasing to the Most High and that we're hearing His voice. It's very important. And also, we need to draw strength from the scriptures and from the 2-minute warnings and things like that that's directly coming from the word of the Most High. Because what happens is, as he said, do our people think that they are displeasing the Most High? And he said, don't answer, but I'm going to give you the answer that I feel. No, they don't. That's why they get offended at you when you try to tell them what is true. But as it says in the book of Romans, they've gone about to establish their own righteousness and have not submitted themselves to the righteousness of Elohim. They've established it and they think that it is righteous. The point that when Don said that we got to guard our faith and make sure that we're doing what's pleasing to the Most High, we can't compromise. And what happens a lot of times, because society does not accept how we walk, sometimes we get watered down in our faith, in our walk, and we start actually taking on customs we shouldn't try to please man. But we have to put our trust in Yah and please Yah and not man. So sometimes when people think that you're trying to be over righteous, the scripture said don't be over righteous over much, but it does not mean that you should not be righteous to the point where somebody is calling you over righteous. Meaning, in your mind, you're not big-headed with your righteousness. But a person that does not want to walk in truth and keep truth, they should look at you as one that's trying to be over righteous because they just can't understand how disciplined you are and you taking it too far. No, we're still not taking it far enough. And we have to, and I needed this word today myself. So praise be to the Most High for that, because there are times when I know that people may think my views are a little radical, and because a lot of us, we're all still coming out of the world, we're coming out of modern times, and so as imams would tell y'all, there was times when they said I was sugarcoat. I don't sugarcoat as much as I used to, but I do teach with milk still a lot of the times, because I know that people are not able to really accept full truth coming forth at this time. So there are things that I may not speak on sometimes, but if I'm asked a question, then when I say things, people may think, well, that's overboard. If I don't show up to an event, and I just use Iman's elder as an example. And not to bring up any sad moments for Iman at all, but, just to share, like, some people took Iman and elder the wrong way because of their walk. And, even the family felt as if, like, no, they don't show to the events, they don't come to the graduations, they don't do these stuff, because they refuse to break Shabbat for anyone or anybody. So that made the family be offensive with them. And Imam told me at Elder's homegoing,